Yo, 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 what up, my fellow YouTube watchers? How's everybody doing? I don't know who's in on this, and I hope you guys listened to a couple of my videos in the past, because KLDO is just on fire. I've been freaking, I've been in on this shit. I entered at $6 or $6.50, ran it up to about $9, or actually I rolled it up to about $10, sold, and then I ended up rebuying around $9, and I've actually bought a few times throughout here, brought my average up to about $9.60, and I think I got now $2,500 in here, something like that, $2,800, and I'm up like 40%. And this thing is just fucking awesome. So it's been so easy to do technical analysis on. It is just phenomenal. So we're getting into some levels here that we can be a little bit cautious, but like I said in the past, like I have a $22 or $24 price target once it broke out of this pattern here, and we have broken out and we've been on fire. We've been creating higher highs constantly, lower highs as well. This thing is just on a rampage. So if you want to take a look at the measured move here, just a recap on this motherfucker, and let's see. If we broke out here, boom, we had a price target up here at 24.61. I did some fib extension levels, because once you break above this trend line here, this is potentially resistance from its whole life. You're in almost blue sky breakouts. I mean, it's definitely a definite run up to $19, even with small pullbacks and shit. And then if you break through $19, you really don't have resistance above, and everyone's going to go off of these fib retracement levels. So that's what I'm kind of watching for. So for now, there's a few things we have to keep an eye on, which one of them, I'm going to turn this brightness up. Sorry, guys. I'm going to turn this brightness up real quick. I'm doing this on the fly now, actually. Shout out to No Show. He showed me about how I can actually record these stupid videos on my screen record and use my voice, because I've been making videos and then going and editing them in like a Splice app or something, and it's just a pain in my ass. So, now I'm just going to not edit them as much and just kind of talk through them. So, anyway, so if I screw up and shit, you guys get to see it all real time, basically. So, as of right now, I'm kind of concerned about this potentially being a rising channel that we're in. So, we've been playing it pretty damn good. I might actually, seeing we caught resistance here recently, I might move this trend line a hair, because that seems like it's going to be more accurate for me. So, as you see, we are inside, and I can show you on the smaller time frames to show you. We got 1188 today as a low potential support, and as low as, well, 1144 would be way down here. We would still be potentially good. Let me get into these smaller time frames. It'll make it less confusing even for me. So right now on the hourly, I got so many trend lines here, it's probably confusing as shit to you guys, but I got to do what I got to do. So as we see here, we are getting support around 1196. We have fallen through a little bit, had some fake outs to 1192, but I'm thinking this next breakout, if we actually break out of here, you got support tomorrow around 1205. If it breaks down from there, you got support at 1177. That would be a great buy zone. And if we break above and find support above this 12, we'll say 1217, 1218 zone, we're going to have a nice break out of this pennant here that we're in. Let's see, go from here to about here, and our move out of this motherfricker right here, our measured move is 1283. Obviously this top line has been over and over resistance, and I kind of want to move it a little bit because it's a little bit off here, so that it matches all this other price action we've been getting. I mean, I could drop it to here, seeing that we wicked out a little bit there. Do I want to do that? I mean, I guess I could do that. I guess I'll do that just to match that price action, because we want to stay consistent here. You don't want to overshoot these targets either. So we're gonna get support. We're gonna get resistance next pump up, depending on if we pump up tomorrow, 1235, and it's gonna continue rising in here, which we're getting those higher highs, which is nice, and then higher lows, and we're kind of consistently following this trend line here, which I'll probably move there as well. So then that would show tomorrow around 12 bucks with the resistance around. This thing kind of looks kind of shitty. I want to go kind of want to move this to over here. That makes a little more sense. We have our resistance at 12.13. A break out of it would be 12.14. Then our next resistance up would be 12.34, and a break of that is going to be a pretty good move. 12.83, depending on if we actually break out of this pattern, which is a bigger pattern here. I don't want to I don't know if I want to do that though. I don't want to overshoot my targets here, because we haven't really been following this trend line anymore. I kind of have it there for myself. If I wanted to make a nice buy, re-add to my position, I would probably buy something in this range here, 1177. I'm not buying stuff inside these smaller patterns. I'm looking for the bigger pattern supports. Now, if we do end up breaking down out of any of this, which I don't see happening just yet, we're still going to have some support down at like 1055 zone. And as long as we don't fall below, for now, if we don't fall below this $11 range, we're still doing well. If we look at the daily, let's see where our actual pattern breakout was. We've talked about in the past, it was now it's right around 1220 area. So if you got in somewhere down in this zone before this breakout, where I talked about prior, getting above this 977, you could, if you were somewhere in that $9 range like me and you wanted to keep riding the sum up, hoping it's going to go to 24, you could put a stop loss somewhere either at break even or at like 10.15, 10.12, something like that. If you want to lock in some profits, then you could probably say I'm going to put a stop loss safely somewhere around below probably like 10.71 or even $11 really. That's up to you how you want to do that. And if you hopped in here a little later, you'll have to let me know in the comments what price you guys are in at and how you guys are doing, if anyone's even in on this. I still see a lot more upside on this thing. We have a couple concerning things I'll get into real quick. I don't want to make this video too long just yet. We got a nice little W there, possible. I thought it was going to be an inverse head and shoulder, kind of rolled over a little bit. So maybe it'll make a little double top, come back down to this 1199, level 98 area. Well, it looks like it's at 1196 right now, so 1195. So let me try to see. 1191 looks to be the support as of right now, and then tomorrow it's going to go higher. Let's see what we got. 1190, and then tomorrow our low would be 1198, and we should get a nice breakout tomorrow. That's what I'm hoping for, or expecting rather. If we look, what I was going to say is the only concerning thing that I'm kind of watching out for actually isn't even for the weekly, it's for the monthly. So if we look at the TD9 flash here, the TD9, we're on a number 8 right now, so that means the next monthly candle could actually end up being a 9 flash, which I'm kind of concerned on what that's going to do for us. On the monthly, your breakout of this pattern looks to be around 1022. So even if we stay above 1022, we're still locked and loaded for like some serious gains. I'm not trying to sell this thing too early. I have so many shares. As much as I love the profits I'm in, I'm kind of trying to do a real long trade here. I do have a price target right now of 1358, and I would expect that to get hit before any type of big correction down. So I'm trying to decide how I'm going to play that. Just maybe I'll sell half of my position and hope that I can rebuy it around 1050, 1030. I don't know what I'm going to do just yet, but the thing really hasn't given me any reason to sell because it continues to make higher highs. The second that I notice it doesn't make higher highs anymore and we get, maybe a double top or something like that, then I might have to be concerned. But for right now, look at this real quick. So on the daily RSI, in the past, we have basically came up to roughly where this trend line is now, up to about here, which is right here on the RSI. So we still have some more room to come up, and if we want to come up into this zone, we can come up all the way up to here before any potential of like a double top or anything like that you've seen in the past that's brought us down. So I'm kind of waiting for the RSI to get up in there before I start considering any profit taking or anything like that. See how it's going to react to it. So if this ends up being a rising channel on the daily, then you'd be looking at a breakdown of 1055, which would be somewhere in January 14th we would find out, or prior to January 14th. Probably January 14th would be the end of this apex, and we'll find out if we're going to break down or break up. And at that point, you would be in some nice profits already, where you could actually set your stop loss at that point somewhere around 1025, hoping that we make it up that high and find support on this 1025 area. That's going to be dope. I'll be pumped on that. And then, at that point, if we get stopped out at 1225, that's going to be where we would get stopped out if it was going to fall out of this rising channel up in sometime in that range of January 13th or 14th. It'd either be 1210 or 1225, something like that, and we'll be locking in some serious gains at that point anyway, so it's not too bad. But on the 4 hourly, we're getting a little bit of bearish divergence on this. If we don't continue up, it does look like it's rolling over a little bit. Price action is lower on the right, higher on the left on the RSI, and opposite on the price action. So if it doesn't actually get a pump out of here and the RSI follows, then we actually would be looking at some downside. But if we look at the MACD, we're not looking quite like we're going to roll over negatively. Let's look at the hourly. We're kind of like just pinched right on here. So, we could still get this nice little pump here, turn this into a W, maybe head up into this range, which could be in that 1358 or 1283 level. I'm not sure just yet. So keep an eye on that. But right now, just everything looks fucking great. So maybe just a little bit of that bearish divergence, but we can still have room to move up, so it's not too big of a deal just yet. And we don't really have any bearish divergence on the daily or anything. We don't seem like the RSI is trying to roll over just yet. Nope. We've broken through a lot of resistance, so this is going to be the next resistance somewhere up in this range that we're going to be watching through. Excuse me. And if it breaks out of here, then that's going to be some huge stuff. So yeah, I mean, we want to get up past here actually, because seeing this top of the RSI peak here and this here, we're lower right now over here, higher over on this RSI. And let's look at the price action in comparison real quick. The RSI, when it was peaked down below there, was right around here, and the RSI now is up in this area. So as long as we can bring this RSI up into this range, at least I'd like to come up higher, come up in this range, then we're not going to have any bearish divergence on the daily to worry about. So then we could actually possibly break out of this thing bullishly. We've been breaking out of every pattern possible, whether bearish or bullish, and it's just been in this crazy uptrend. Look at all this buying. So I wouldn't get too afraid just yet. Let's see what's going to happen. But like I said, watch around around the 14th. That's where I'm going to be watching like a hawk to make sure that nothing looks negative, and I'll see if I can get a video out or not. But yeah, hit the like button on this thing and let me know if you guys are in this, because I'm curious on that. I don't get much views or any likes on these KLDO, and the thing's fucking killing it. So I'm just curious if you guys got in around $9 or have been playing this. All right, that's all. Sorry for the long ass video and the rambling. All right, peace.